Everyone all comfy? Did everyone have a great Thursday? Did you have a good Thursday? I had a great Thursday. Gentlemen, you had your due time. I don't really know what you did, but I'm sure it was busy and sweaty. We ladies had great girl time on the ropes. That was super fun. I had a great time. Super good. I am so excited for all the things that God has in store for us tonight. But before we get started and all that Jesus stuff, I have a question for you. This is hypothetical, so please don't scream it. Have you ever had an experience that you thought was like too good to be true? Have you ever had an experience where you're like, there's no way this is real? Like, I can't believe this is happening! Has that ever happened to you before? Like, it's your birthday and your parents give you an iPhone and you're like, I never thought this day would come, I can't believe it! Or maybe you're on a soccer team and it's the championship game and you're losing the whole time. And in the last second you score a goal and you're like, I can't believe it! Like, there's no way, like, you're just shook. Or maybe your favorite artist, your favorite band is in town, and you go to their concert and then like they start strumming your favorite song and like tears are pouring down your face. You're like, I can't believe it. Shh. Have you ever had an experience like that before? I had a too good to be true experience recently that I want to tell you about. So 3 years ago, I was a summer missionary here at this camp. I was like one of those cool kids wearing the yellow shirts, okay? So I was a summer missionary here at camp, and I met someone, and we became super good friends. Like, we became best friends. Like, that's what happens at camp. You just form really good friends. Maybe that's happened to you. But the unfortunate thing was the summer ended, and we went back to our separate places. So she lived in California, and I lived in Colorado. And I went to school in Ohio, and she went to school in Pittsburgh, or Pennsylvania. And we didn't see each other for months. And you know how, like, your heart aches when you're apart from your best friend. That just stinks. Like, maybe it's happened to you. Maybe your best friend has gone away for the whole summer. Or maybe they've, like, moved away. Or they live in the opposite side of town and they go to a different school or a different football team. And you're just like, I miss my person. You know what I'm talking about? So that happened to me. I was missing my friend Bailey so bad. I was just bummed. We were apart for months. It was my birthday. She wasn't there. Does anyone have an August 18th birthday? 18th? Anyway, okay. Anyway, so my birthday was August 18th, and I couldn't celebrate with her, and I was just bummed. So I was back in college, back at school, and my roommate knew that I was sad. My roommate knew I was sad, so she concocted this masterful plan. Or she bought my friend Bailey a bus ticket and like secretly bussed her to me, and I didn't know it. Okay, so normal day at school, I don't know this is happening. And my roommate's like, Maggie, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, honestly, like, I just miss my friend, you know, and she's like, I know. So just normal going throughout the day. And it's the end of the day, and my roommate texts me, she's like, hey, come back to the house, let's hang out. I'm like, sure, who needs homework? So I go home. And I walk in the door and there's like streamers and balloons. I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, I just wanted to have like a belated birthday party for you. I'm like, you're the nicest human. And she like brings forward a cake, and it's a cookie cake, so you know she was a really good person. And on the cookie cake and chocolate icing was written, look in the closet. I'm like, did you give me a present? Is it in the closet? She's like, so I go to the closet all naive and I open it up, and in the closet is my friend Bailey. And I'm like, what is happening? She pops out, she's like, hey, happy belated birthday. And I haven't seen her in months. I thought I was drugged. Like, I was shocked. I thought it was like one of those weird Inception things, like, I couldn't breathe, and she's like, aren't you excited to see me? And I ran away. Like, I was so freaked out, I like ran down the hallway, and she chases after me, and I'm like, what is going on? This is crazy! How is this happening? You should not be here! It's like, I am, like, aren't you excited? And it only became real, it only became like an actual reality when she gave me a hug, and my friend got a picture of the moment. I was so dang excited. It was like the best weekend, it was super fun. Anyway, have you ever had a moment like that when you're like, there's no way this is happening, this is too too good to be true. And the apostles knew exactly what I was talking about. So yesterday, we walked through the Stations of the Cross and the death of our Lord. And imagine the apostles who witnessed this happen. Imagine their heartbreak, their horror, when they saw their God, their Jesus, hammered to the cross, all the blood draining out of his body. And imagine their sadness when he was laid in the tomb and they just thought it was it. They thought it was over. They thought their lives were done. They thought they were going to be next. They thought they were going to be the next one hanging on a cross, tortured and crucified. They were terrified. They were brokenhearted. So what did? They hid. They hid in a room and they hid together and they were trying to figure out what to do. When suddenly, Jesus appears to them and they are shooketh. They're like, what is going on? What's happening? You were dead. Jesus is like, see, Senor. Yes, I was dead. They're like, but how, what? And this is what happens. Let me read this to you. This is from the Gospel of Luke. And the apostles, as they were saying this, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, peace be with you. And they were startled and frightened. Yes. Supposing they saw a ghost. And Jesus said to them, why are you troubled? Why do questions rise in your hearts? See my hands and my feet. See that it is me. Touch me and see, for a ghost doesn't have flesh and bones as you see that I have. And when he said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they were still disbelieving for joy and wonder, he said to them, have anything to eat? So they gave him a piece of boiled fish. And he took it and ate it. Gospel of the Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay, what has happened? What is happening here? The apostles are terrified. And Jesus appears to them and they're like, what is happening? Is this a ghost? And Jesus is like, look, I ain't no ghost. Touch me, feed me food. I am not no hologram. I am real. I am Jesus Christ. I'm present. And they were shocked. And we too as Christians are shocked by the mystery that our God is alive. We celebrate this mystery, this reality every Easter. We celebrate the reality of the resurrection, that our God is not dead, but he is alive. And my brothers and sisters, the heart of God is alive. We learned a few days ago that the heart of God is humble. That's why he came to us. He came down from heaven and became man and dwelt among us because the heart of God is humble. And then yesterday we talked about how the heart of God is merciful. And because of the mercy of his own heart, he died for us on a cross. And that is not where the story ends, my brothers and sisters. God does not just love you to death, he loves you to life. That's why he came back, because the heart of God is alive. And the resurrection, which we celebrate every Easter, changes everything. The true, real, historical fact of the resurrection changes everything. And it is the center of your faith. It is the center of what we believe as Christians. Everything else revolves around the resurrection. You guys know what one of these are? Fidget spinner! Fidget spinner. And what is a fidget spinner made out of? A couple parts and there's a center. In order for the fidget spinner to work, you gotta cling to the center and then everything else revolves around it. If you don't hold on to the center, it doesn't work. But when you cling to the center, everything else revolves around it perfectly. And that is the resurrection in our lives, brothers and sisters. The resurrection is the center of our lives, the center of our faith, and we cling to that. And everything else, our faith, our life, our family, our friends, everything else revolves around the reality of the resurrection. The heart of God is alive. And it is so important to us as Christians, so important to us as Catholics, that St. Paul says this line. He says, if Christ has not been raised, your faith is in vain. If the heart of God is not alive, brothers and sisters, what are we doing? Why are we here? Seriously. Why are we doing things like praying and trying to be good people and like getting up early to go pray and telling your sins to a priest? Why are we doing that? If Christ has not been raised, your faith is in vain. Forget about it. Like, mic drop, go home, it's over. If our God is dead, what are we doing? Because it doesn't matter. If God is dead, If he's not here, if he's gone, then we're worshiping a 2,000-year-old memory. That's not something to give your life for. If Christ is dead, if the heart of God is dead, none of it matters. We have no reason to follow him. We have no reason to follow church teachings. We have no reason to be a good person if God is dead. Let me give you an example. My mom, she had a rule in the house, a house rule, that there would be no cell phones in the kitchen, no cell phones at the table. So if we brought our cell phones into the kitchen table, my mom would throw it out the room. Honestly, she'd do that. But my mom traveled a lot for business. So my mom wouldn't be home a lot of times. So when my mom wasn't home, you know what my sister and I would sometimes do? Mom's not here, what does it matter? I can text all I want at the dinner table. It doesn't matter. Same with us. If Jesus is not here, if he's gone, we don't have to listen to him. We can do what we want. But the reality is, the heart of God is alive. And that changes everything. If the heart of God is alive, we cannot ignore him. Brothers and sisters, we have no excuse. If he's dead, what the heck? But he is not dead, he is alive, so you best believe we listen to him. You best believe we follow his church teachings. It doesn't matter if you don't understand them fully. We trust that the heart of God is alive, so we follow them because we love him. The resurrection changes everything. The heart of God is alive. And you know what that means, brothers and sisters? That means we can have a relationship with him. You can't have a relationship with something that is dead. You cannot have a relationship with a potato. I have tried, okay? It doesn't work. You cannot have a relationship with a rock or a button or like I don't know, my water bottle. It doesn't work. You cannot have a relationship with something that is dead, that is not alive. And so many people, brothers and sisters, you realize, think that God is dead and think that a personal relationship with him is impossible. I'm here to tell you that's not the case. The heart of God is alive, and because the heart of God is alive, we can have a relationship with him. We can learn about him. He can learn about us. We can dialogue with him. He can dialogue with us. We can spend time with him. He spends time with us. We can change our lives for him. We can change our hearts for him because the heart of God is alive. So if the heart of God is alive, does that mean Jesus is like chilling in some nursing home in Palestine, like knitting you a blanket? No. Not so. The heart of God is alive, but not in the sense that we would normally understand it. So we know that Jesus rose again from the dead. He plunged death straight in the kidneys and came back to life. But we know that Jesus ascended back into heaven. So how is he still alive? He is alive in you. And in you. And in you. And in you. And in me. And all of us. In the church. In the sacraments. But God is primarily alive. The heart of Jesus is primarily alive in the Mass. In the holy sacrifice of the Mass, where he comes to us on the altar and we receive the heart that is alive. And since his heart is alive, everything changes. Let's pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Spirit. Amen. Dear Jesus, I know you are not far away. You're not fake. You're not like this crusty, moldy memory. You are alive. More alive than I will ever be. Your heart is beating, present, active, and demanding my attention. Jesus, I thank you for being alive, for choosing life for me. And I pray that I may give my life back to you. Since you are alive, may I live fully alive and give my heart to you. And you're really big, and sometimes we don't fully understand you or know what you want us to do, but may we know this, that you are alive, you love us, and that everything has changed. Sacred Heart of Jesus, be with us. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So we're now going to go into small groups. Small and groupy time. Vulnerability time. Small and groupy. Let's go do it. Let's go to small groups.